fun, or is there basketball value?
Nothing. There's absolutely no basketball value to anything happening tonight. Tonight is an insult to the game of basketball. So tonight is, serves one purpose only. That's for, I think, our students to get a chance to get in the building, and some of the kids that were freshmen here last year, they came to UConn with all these great expectations of, going to games and filling the place up and being all rowdy and having a great time, and they never got a chance to do that. So tonight's kind of for them, and for our players to kind of just be kids. Sometimes it gets lost that they're just a bunch of kids playing a kids game. That's basically it. Our freshmen last year have never played in front of anybody at home other than their parents and some family members, that managed to get to the game. But other than that, that's that.
Different players react to crowds differently. Kate hasn't had a chance to play in front of a crowd. How do you think her game will be different in front of crowds this year, if at all? Do you think,
I don't
plays to them, or?
Yeah, I don't think that much. I don't think that much different. I mean, there were some on the road. Last year. Not at home, but there were some at the Final Four. Again, not at home. We didn't have any. We were, it was unfortunate, but we didn't have any. But I don't think she'll be any different. Tonight, who knows? Anything could happen tonight. But I think when the game starts, I think they're just more interested in trying to win the game and not worry too much about what's going on in the stands. But who knows? She might surprise us all.
What kind of progress have you made the first week of practice?
Actually, pretty good. I've been pleasantly surprised, to be honest with you, that we've actually gotten a couple things accomplished, so that's been good. And we'll have to, we've got a lot of work to do, obviously. 9 freshmen and sophomores on the team. Things move slowly. So, considering that, I think we've gotten a bunch of stuff accomplished.
Last time we talked to her, Aubry said that after finally getting her knee physically healthy, she finally has some confidence in it mentally. When she goes up for a shot, she's not worried that it's going to give up. Have you seen a difference in her in practice with that?
A little bit. There isn't much of a, there isn't as many opportunities for her to, or she's not taking as many opportunities to step out and get herself, back again. She needed a lot of breaks last year, and that hasn't been the case so far. So, practice is 2 hours of basketball stuff. In a game, it's not 2 hours of constant. You do get a lot of breaks. But right now, she looks good. She's moving well, and I'm happy with where she is.
The issue is still a little back stuff or injury stuff, but expectations for Aubry this year as a junior. Where do you
It's funny. She had the back issue, and so she couldn't do much. And then just when she got on the court, she ran into somebody, or somebody ran into her, and she sprained her ankle. So now she's been out for the last 4 or 5 days, or 3 or 4 days. I don't even know how long it's been. So it's one thing after another for the poor kid. But hopefully there's going to come a time soon where she's going to be able to contribute and do a lot of the stuff that she does. Aubry's kind of in a unique situation. She's not your typical, ball handling guard who makes plays for other people, and she's not, a 6'3" post player that you can just throw the ball in the post. And she's one of these kids that I think is one of those, can play a lot of places on the floor and just has to find her comfort level right now.
So I don't know. We obviously haven't been to practice in a while, but when we were here last week, we saw her with the guards. Is that something?
Yeah, we take players like that. You know, we did it with Stewie and Gabby and Lou. You know, we move them around so that they don't stay in one spot too long. And Caroline's getting some of that, and Aubry's going to be doing that for pretty much the whole year.
Are the players excited for tonight? Did you get a sense?
I think. I mean, you know, they're excited because they get a chance to go out and act dumb. You know, act like kids. You know, do dumb stuff and make fools of themselves for all their fans on Instagram and TikTok and all the other stuff that they do. So, you know, we indulge them in that. It's why we're on this earth, right? To indulge young people.
Geno, you on TikTok?
Me? No. No, I don't. I take Tic Tacs, but I don't know anything about TikTok. And I like to keep it that way, to be honest with you.
Is Sailor part of that group too? She was working with the forwards. At
Yeah,
the
she
last
moves
practice.
around a little bit too. She moves around a little bit. We've got her. You know, one of the things that we're trying to find too is we're trying to find, you know, some big bodies that can shoot the ball well from to perimeter, so we can stretch people out. You know, stretch out our offense a little bit. So yeah, we're experimenting with a lot of that.
I know she was injured, but how has she progressed?
Better, you know. Again, you know, some of these kids, they can't get a break. You know, she got hurt, then she got sick and was, you know, was out of practice for a couple of days. So there hasn't been any time where she's been with us 3, 4, 5 days in a row to kind of get a rhythm going. So hopefully she's been here the last 2 days, so that's good.
Who's been the best player in week 1 or the best 2 or 3 players, if you can list them?
I mean, Paige is Paige. Paige is better than she was last year. Paige is a little more comfortable than she was last year. She's not as hesitant to take shots as she was last year. You know, so it's been good because I just watch the kids that are coming off injuries. You know, like I don't worry about the other guys, but you know, he's been good. Paige has been really good. You know, Kristen's elbows healed up fine. She looks good. So I've been trying to keep track of, you know, if there's any after effects from all that. And so far, everybody seems good.
How will the freshmen impress you the most this past week?
How have they? How have the freshmen impressed me? You know, they've been your typical freshmen in a lot of ways. They have amazing moments, and they have times where they show you how talented they are and how good they can be, and that's been really encouraging. And then there's days when they really struggle, and so I guess they're acting like typical freshmen. And they're at different stages of development too. You know, when you get to college, sometimes you pick things up like that. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer. So everybody progresses at their own pace. But right now, you know, if we had a game tomorrow, I mean, AZ and Caroline, you know, they look like they just blend right in, you know. The other guys, it's a little I miss anybody? AZ, Caroline?
What do you consider Sailor?
Yeah.
Say
Was-
with Aubry.
Sailor and Mari, they're both have been dealing with some health issues, so they haven't had as much of a chance as AZ and Caroline have had. But AZ and Caroline feel like, they look like they've been here. There's some things they do that looks like they've been part of the team for a while. So I'm really thrilled with where they are.
What about Nika? I feel like we haven't asked you about her the couple times we've talked to you.
Well, she's not in foul trouble yet, so that's a good sign. We're trying to harness her emotions and her feistiness. You don't want that to go away, and she's been in America now a year and a half total, probably. She still hasn't fouled anybody, according to her. And you show it to her on film, she says it was doctored. She thinks this is still, she's living in a communist country still or something. So once we harness her energy and her toughness and her emotions, she adds something to our team that no one else has. She actually has a physical toughness about her that I don't know that anybody else on our team has. I love that. I love that about her. She's relentless. She's relentless. I mean, she drives me crazy, but she's relentless.
With so much depth and versatility this year, is this a situation where people are going to be put in maybe to play to their strengths, like someone like Nika? You're not going to be asking her to do anything. Maybe last year that was the case too, but because you have other guys, you can put in Nika to, I don't know, bring you down the line of games, but Nika can go in for her defense and toughness, and he can come in and bring this, and
Yeah, there's.
Aubry does that.
Yeah. I think we have a lot of people on our team. Whether or not we have a lot of depth, that'll iron itself out, whether we do or not. I'm guessing we do, but there's going to be an opportunity for us to use, take advantage of opportunities where people's skills can, like, we need some rebounding. We need to get a couple stops. We need to get a bucket. We can put people in for what we need. I thought last year we were kind of stuck in that the same players had to play extended minutes, and hopefully that won't be the case this year.
Two-part question, if you don't mind. I think Val Ackerman was talking that the possibility down the line of expansion for the Big East. Would you like to see a 12th team and go to the division? And the second part is, it looks like the NCAA tournament's going to go to 68 teams from 64. And just your thought on that there's going to be a first four like there'll be for the men. Just your thoughts on that.
I really don't know about the expansion thing. I haven't really seen anything on it. Not big on divisions. We tried that once. It wasn't that great. Too many people claiming they were Big East champions. Banners all over. Every school you go to has a banner. We won our division. I don't know what that is. They put a banner if in football you win the AFC East or something like that. Like you put a banner up.
If you wanted a Super Bowl.
Yeah, won a Super Bowl, you do.
If you won a Super Bowl, you do, right? So I think, I think it's always good. The more good teams you have in your league, the better. That's the way I look at it. Not crazy about divisions. I hope that never happens. The expanded field, that's great. I mean, the more teams in the postseason, the better. I think when you get to the last 10 teams in the tournament, there's probably 4 or 5 more that you could say, you could take some of those out and put those in, and it wouldn't change anything. So, the more the merrier. I think it'd be a great opportunity for some kids to say they played in the NCAA tournament that maybe would have been left out in the past.
Do you think the strength of women's basketball has gotten to the point where it doesn't get watered down by going to 68 from 64?
I don't know. I guess it remains to be seen. It's not like college football where there's 40 teams that have a chance to win a national championship, right?
Alabama and yeah,
Or did I say 4? I'm not sure. I don't know. You know, I think we'll see. The interesting thing is no one expects any of those 4 teams to play for the national championship. But those 4 teams are going to play in a little tournament that means the world to them. That whoever comes out of that is going to feel like they just accomplished like an unbelievable thing, especially if it's their first time ever in the tournament. So that's worth it just for that. You know, I don't think anybody thinks that whoever comes out of that group is actually going to win the Sweet 16 game. I hope they do someday. I don't know if that day is right now, though. Might be, but I don't know. Hey, not that they weren't, but I remember we supposedly had the greatest team in the history of sports, and we were down 2. Dayton, where were we? 1? You were down 1 at halftime to Dayton, who had a really good team that nobody knew about. So I think there's a lot to be said for, you know, giving opportunities and, you know, having schools say, hey, that could be something for us to aspire to. Some of the smaller leagues. I just hope they don't take now the 8th place team from some conference or the 10th place team from some conference and throw them in that spot. I would like to see a reserve for some of those mid-majors that get locked out that are in 1 bid leagues. You know, you're in a 1 bid league, you go to the tournament, you get beat, and you got undefeated during the regular season. Now you should have a chance to play in the NCAA tournament. Or, you know, I mean, I don't even know if we do that. I know they do it in men's basketball. Do you do that in women's basketball? I don't think so, do that? If you win the league, that doesn't automatically get you in.
Get you the NIT.
It gets you the NIT bid.
Yeah, get you the NIT. First of all, I don't understand why a 1 bid league even has a tournament, but I think that those 4 spots should, you know, those teams deserve to get into the tournament.
Well, if they do it like
They deserve more. They deserve to get in the tournament more than a team who finishes 10th in their league. I think that's the best you can do in your own league. Then you don't deserve to be in the tournament.
you know, they have qualifying.
Ahead of a team that won their league, huh?
You have to have a whatever 500 or winning record to get in. Maybe they should make that for the league. Have at least a 500 record in the
Yeah,
league.
if you don't have a 500 record in the league, you shouldn't be in the NCAA tournament. My view. I don't care how good your league is. You know, you can't say, yeah, well, we're better than 30 of the teams in here because of who we play. Well, tough. Go play in a different league then. Teams do that all the time, don't they? Let's go play in a different league.
Geno, year in and year out for 30-something years, I don't think that there's a program or a group of people who have felt more preseason hype and expectations than you and the people you work with. How do you balance that with the kids who come and go from the program, you know, like what you want them to feel or ignore or take from outside expectations and hype?
For the first time ever, I actually contemplated taking all the names off of the wall in our practice facility of all the kids that made National Player of the Year and First Team All-American. I actually thought about taking them down because I think it scares the daylights out of some kids when they come in here to play.
Yeah.
You know, they all think they're, you know, like that old saying, every kid thinks they're the next Stewie or Maya Moore or Dee, you know, and their parents think they're better than that. So we got that to deal with. But I think when they get here, they're like looking around and saying, I want to be that good. And is that realistic? Well, sometimes it is, sometimes it's not. So being reminded of that every day, is that inspiring? And is that like, yeah, you know, that's why I came here, you know, like the monuments in Yankee Stadium, you know, that's why I came here, because I want to represent that. But with some kids, I think it scares the daylights out of me, that I can never be that. But it's okay, you don't have to be that. So for us, the message is, we don't need you to come here and be just like that. We need you to be the best version of yourself, because that's going to help us win a national championship, and it's going to help you get to where you're going. But the hype they're getting from the outside probably is a different message, you know.
How about the hype for your program as a whole? Once you go undefeated one time, people
Oh,
think
yeah.
you can do it again and again and again. So
Yeah,
there's probably fans out there who think you're going to roll to a 40-0 record
know.
this year. And
I know. My favorite is the stories that go, UConn, which hasn't won a national championship since 2016. I kind of get a kick out of that because most people, if they had won one in 1916, people would be happy to win a second one. But it is what it is. You know, we created it, we did it, we own it, and we embrace it. And that's the only way that you can look at it. You can't hide from it. Like I tell the kids, you know, you can't want all the things that this program offers you without the expectations that come with it. And yeah, the outside world thinks if we ever lose, it's our fault. Like the other team's not allowed to win. That to me is the funniest part. That if we win every game, it's bad. If we get beat, we're bad because the other team's not supposed to win. So it's a real weird dynamic that we're dealing with here, you know?
Does it affect players like Kristen? Because at no other school would people go to Kristen and say, wow, you were at UConn for 4 years and you never won a national championship.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, yeah, it's like you've failed in some way if you spend 4 years here and don't win a national championship. The bar is so high that I don't want to say it's unfair because it is what it is. I mean, it's not for every kid. But yeah, they don't need to be answering those questions. They wouldn't answer those questions anywhere else. They wouldn't be asked those questions anywhere else. You're absolutely right. But if she played at most other schools, people might not even know who she is.
now everything's so amplified too with social media.
It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
Well, the follow up
Social media has turned every kid like they're from New York City. You're the greatest ever or you suck. There's no in between.
Well, the follow up on the unbeaten seasons, you've had what, 6?
Yeah,
And everyone else in the last 40 years has had 3
combined.
combined. Baylor, Texas, Tennessee.
Yeah.
So it's not that easy.
No, it's not easy. It's not easy to win a national championship. I tell the players that all the time. If it was that easy, more people would have done it. So it's difficult. It takes a lot. And I think sometimes, you know, we made it look too easy. Made it look too easy. And now the expectation is that it's easy, but it's not. And each year when you see someone who doesn't repeat as a national champion, you realize how hard it is and how amazing it was what we did.
Well, even look at the back-to-back games without losses.
You know, this is where we are. This is what we do. And the kids that come here, I think, appreciate that. I came for that. I came for those expectations, for those kind of opportunities.
You find yourself feeling anxious this time of year, wondering how the product will look versus how you hope it'll look?
Yeah, I probably ask the coaches every day, are we any good? Are we getting any better? Or did we get anything done this week? You know, blah, blah, blah. It's like every day I need reinforcement, positive reinforcement. Like, yeah, we're okay. We're doing all right. Kids are getting better. We're getting better. We got a lot accomplished. So it's like that every year though. You know, you always go into your first game having no idea what you're going to see. Could be, you know, a few years back we played at Ohio State, and I'm like, I have no idea how good we are. And we're out there and we're up 40 against a very good Ohio State team. I was the most shocked person in the building. So I go into those first opening days and I'm always worried. I'm always scared that I got it all wrong, you know. Coach's job is to put their team in the best possible position to win, which means we got to have an offense that's perfect for our team. We got to be playing a defense that's perfect for our team. And you could spend 4 or 5 weeks working on stuff and then realize when you get in the game, we had it all wrong. it's a frightening thought. You think you have and there's been times, to be honest with you, when we'll go into January and we might have 7 things that we wanted to accomplish, and we'll scrap 5 of them and we're down to 2. But those 2 work. It just took us that long to find it. Some years you find it the first week of practice. I've had teams where after the first week of practice, I'm like, man, it's going to be really hard to beat us. And then there's other years, like even now, this year, I think we're really good. But I worry, like, do I have the right things set up for them to be their best? Because they are so young. Minus the 3 seniors, we are so young.
We have time for one more.
I'm sure you figure it all out in there tonight, right?
Yeah, tonight will give me a pretty good idea of what we got. They asked me the other day, somebody came in and goes, what song are you walking out to? I said, what am I, Mariano Rivera? What are we doing here? We have songs now to walk into?
That's a personal attack, so I don't think that's fair.
You know, I mean, like, he deserves a song to walk out to. Everybody else, I'm not sure. So I guess they all have their song they're walking out to, right?
Yeah, but it's gonna happen now. That's life,
Right?
Hey, don't you come in the office in the morning, you don't have a song?
I don't.
Motown, if you have Motown song.
I don't. I remember one time, just to get on my wife's nerves, I said, I think when I walk into Gamble, they should play like Pomp and Circumstance. And if I said that to any of the players, they would go, what's that? Like, they wouldn't have any idea what it is anyway. And most of the students that were there tonight, so if they actually did play that, and I walked in, they would go, what is this? So I would want to do that, just to confuse them a little bit. So I have no idea. You know what they're playing tonight?
For you?
Yeah, nothing, I hope, right? Surprise.
Yeah,
Oh.
Are you addressing the crowd?
Huh?
Are you addressing the crowd?
No, I'm not saying boo tonight.
they had hail to the chief.
Not talking to the
providence,
students.
so-
Huh?
They already had hail to the chief came for Biden. So.
Oh, yeah, see? Exactly. We got a lot of dignitaries here. We got recruits here. We got the president here. We got you guys back on campus. Holy, that's probably.